this water is going to interact with our furnace and the skid system, it needs to be at a certain level. And to get to it at a level, we were initially adding chemicals, bleach, and the other additional chemicals. And once it gets treated with that stuff, goes into the furnace, gets reacted with the skid, comes back to a cold well system, and stays in a hot well, and then it's like a closed loop system. So it keeps cycling back and forth, and again the makeup is done by our strip mill water treatment plant. So that's basically the journey of our water in this furnace system.
Well, this sphagnum moss is in areas of the world known to have the purest water, and it comes from areas, interestingly, that have iron ore. So the moss treats the water in those systems where there's iron in the soil so that the habitat can survive. And so that moss has very special characteristics. In water, it stabilizes pH, it absorbs iron, it absorbs other toxins, it purifies the water, and it inhibits corrosion and scaling.
We use lobster cages, which you would use to catch lobsters, but instead of putting like a bait in there, we put moss. So there are 4 compartments in there, so per lobster cage you have 8 packs of moss. And we have 17 cages there, so you can do 8 times 17, it is 136.
Because the moss inhibits scale and corrosion, it allows the cooling tower, which is basically a heat transfer system, to work more efficiently. If it works more efficiently, it uses less electricity to run. And because the corrosion is inhibited and the scale is inhibited, it prolongs the effective life of the tower and reduces the amount of maintenance that you have to do. So those are all saving things. Because it purifies the water, it also allows us to use less water. So the total amount of water being used for this process can be decreased by somewhere between 20 and 60%. So that's a lot of water. And then the last thing is, since the water is being treated naturally, that water can be reused for other systems because it isn't full of chemicals.
The main reason why we wanted to do it was the water reduction part of it, and also the secondary part was reducing chemical usage, and in this case completely eliminating the chemical usage. While doing so, when this moss is interacting, there is not even a single drop of chemical being added to that water, and that way we are saving our chemical usage. And the other thing is, when the conductivity is at a certain level, there are not enough blowdowns. And when there's no blowdowns, that means you're not really throwing your water away. You're recycling that water, you're reusing the water, so you're reducing your water usage. And at the same time, the way that I like it is because the greener side, you're more sustainable. If you're using nature to treat your process, you're using nature to help you do your process. And in a way, we are moving away from the hazards that we get with while dealing with chemicals. We had a number of skeptic people that were about, like, if this thing would work, and that's why we are running this trial to see if we can address that. And with the results proven, we are getting definitely a lot more believers, and another number of areas in the plant want to try it out and see if they can get away from chemicals and use something which is more sustainable and at the same time help them perform the process.